Welcome back, buddy. This is actually a video for one reviewer, so if everyone else wants to tune this one out, feel free to. This is a very odd build. It's not exactly how I would make a character, but he actually asked for a specific type of build. And it's still serviceable. It's more teammate friendly than it would be playing solo, and you would never beat the game solo with this character. Now, I am using mods, but only to power level the character up, so you can see what he would be at level 20. This is a triple dipping weirdness build. That's why I would not recommend it to most people. But you said you wanted something that was a two-hander that could do some damage. This will definitely be something that'll do some damage, and you'll still be a solid contender for putting numbers up on the board, whether you're solo or with a team. Spell-wise, you'll use them to buff yourself up. Your armor, your saves, your damage, your swing, all that stuff is going to suffer unless you buff up. So definitely make sure to do so. You didn't specify race, so I'm just going to say go human. Gives you an extra feat. Not that you needed it, but you know, it's a tight build like most builds are. I'm going to make him a lawful evil character because I think that's what you said you wanted. And we are going to do a 9-level Eldritch Scion character, 4-level Inquisitor, a specific kind of Inquisitor. I'll show you that in a minute. And then 7 levels at the very end for Mystic Theurge. Mystic Theurge, for those of you that don't know, is an epic class that allows you to take a character that casts arcane and divine spells. Obviously, you have to cross-specialize, which is what we've done. And they will literally progress their spell levels in both their classes. What does this usually mean? It means you can cast arcane spells and divine spells up to a decent-ish level, but not so much that you're going to be like level 9 spells and level 9 spells for both of them. If you want, say, Wizard and Cleric, the best I think you can eke out is an 8-8 split, where you have 8th level Cleric spells and 8th level Wizard spells, which is a solid tune. It's going to hit terribly. It's going to have like really bad synergy, and I don't think you're going to enjoy it. So that's why we went with what we've gone with. I wanted to make a decent looking character for you too. I think we're just going to pick an evil looking son of a bee with no particular weapon. We go human, we make him pale and goth, make his hair black, go like so, and he's reasonably strong, so we'll leave him in the middle body category type. The choices would be Inquisitor. I'm going to do Monster Tactician, so you can have some summons. They're going to be crappy, but it's what you're going to do. We're not going to start off as Inquisitor. It might be your cup of tea, because again, you actually get yourself medium armor category right off the bat. The downside is once you switch then to Magus, you don't get to use that medium armor without having spell casting failure, at least not until you get to level 7 for a Magus, which is why we're going 9 levels of Magus, and then 4 levels of Eldritch Scion specifically, and then 4 levels of the Inquisitor at that point, because then you'll have no problem with the medium armor. Can cast your heart's content, never a problem. If you don't like the Monster Tactician, another solid choice is the Sacred Huntsmaster. This will give you an animal companion. He won't level up very well. He'll only get to like level 4. So he's going to be kind of lame. But he'll still be buffable. And he's a lot more survivable than, say, these little monsters that we can summon on the fly. Having said that, the monsters that you can summon on the fly are disposable. And that's what I treat them. They're there, and then they're gone. Who gives a shit? If they gave me flanking, awesome. If they helped me take a shot to their chest versus mine, again, awesome. They did their job. So again, they help more than you think. But either of those two choices would be the way I would go for your Inquisitor choice. For our Magus, because we're going Eldritch Scion, we need to pick a bloodline for you, though, buddy. And I'm going to make him black clothes with, say, dark green highlights. Abyssal is a possibility. Look at what you get for level 1 through 9. Basically, keep it to stuff like that. Notice here's what we get: a solid +2 to your strength. An inherent bonus to your strength is an inherent bonus. That's a +2. And again, this is a very mad build. What does that mean? Multi-ability dip. So you literally have strength is important to you, wisdom is important to you, charisma is important to you. That's 3 different things that you have to have decent. And of course, you probably don't want to have terrible constitution. Intelligence probably can be 10 or less. Same with dexterity. Dexterity will be our dump stat, quite frankly. But by and large, a +2 to a stat like this for free is a solid upgrade. Notice that it should give you a +4 and a +6, but that's not going to happen because you're not going to be a level 13 or level 17 Eldritch Scion. You're going to stop at 9. So that's really important. And while, yes, you'll get Spellcaster level 16 for Eldritch Scion, You'll actually get spellcaster level 11 for your Inquisitor build, which isn't going to be great, but it is solid. You will get level 6 spells here, and you'll get level 4 spells, I want to say, up to here. And that's all you're going to get for your Inquisitor. But that's still serviceable. Again, plenty of buffs and stuff that will balance the build out. So if this appeals to you, that extra strength, go this route. I'm not saying that I like it. I don't mind the +2. I was kind of hoping for the +6, but I decided not to go that route. What route did I go? You had mentioned Undead. And I'm like, well, you know what? For 9 levels in, you get some solid protection. You get amazing spell and animate dead. You get this once-a-time grasp of the dead ability, which is something, I suppose. Vampire touch, which you were going to get anyway. And again, solid upgrades besides. So this is not the worst idea ever. And again, this is the way I'm going to take your character. So 9 levels straight into this. And again, the other reason for going 9 into this is because with the 9 and the 7 from the Mystic Theurge, that means we'll be level 16 for our caster level for this particular class. That would give us to level 6 spells, which is the highest level spells that you can get for an Eldritch Scion or an Inquisitor for that matter. So what are we going to do? As a human, doesn't matter where you put your 2 points. It could be Charisma, Wisdom, or Strength, because all of them are going to go to 16. Doesn't matter. And then from there, this looks crappy. Take your Dexterity down completely. Put 2 to Con, 2 to Intelligence, because you're human, you'll get extra skill points besides. And this will help at least make your character not suck quite so much. You do have requirements. You need to be able to cast level 2 arcane spells and level 2 divine spells. Now that could be from a cleric, inquisitor, or a druid. Bards, I think, are still considered arcane. So you could do bard, or wizard, or sorcerer, or in our case, a magus of some kind. Hell, you could even be an eldritch archer. Or sorry, not eldritch archer. I mean, that would work too, but I mean eldritch scoundrel. There it is. From the rogue class, because that's arcane spells. And again, that's a possibility, but I would have made a dex-based build for something like that. Would have thematically made more sense. But with the 4 points that you have here, what we're going to invest in is my point. You definitely want to have perception always, and you need to unlock Lore Religion to 3 points into it eventually, and same for Arcana, 3 points into it. That's how you unlock Mystic Theurge. So 3 in Arcana, 3 in Religion, level 2 arcane spells or greater, level 2 divine spells or greater will unlock Mystic Theurge. And then the last point, you're a strength-based character, makes sense to go athletics. The weird thing about this build is there's 2 different ways that we're going to make it. First off, you need to decide on a weapon. We can't pick it right now, but we're going to pick it soon, like level 3 soon. Anything else that is needed in this build, you need to grab it as soon as it's available. So for instance, we want things like Dazzling Display, Corn Against Smash, Shatter Defenses, and Dreadful Carnage. None of them are available right now. We want things like Power Attack. We want things like Cleave. And we want things like Great Cleave, Cleaving Finish, and Improved Cleaving Finish. So there's a lot that we're going to do with this build. I can't tell you what's more important early. Again, that's more of a feel. I can tell you that either way would work, in my opinion. But you're going to get all of it. And again, so you're going to be a cleaving son of a bitch, and you're going to be really, really good at scaring the shit out of the bad guys that you kill, or the friends that survive you, killing their friends. So from here, spell picks are going to be very limited. Eldritch Scions have spontaneous spell casting, so do the Inquisitor. What does that mean? Which means the spells you get are the spells you get. So be real clear on the spells that you want. For a Magus build, though, a staple is a melee touch attack and a shield spell for level 1. And again, there's 2 different melee touch attacks at level 1. You could get Corrosive Touch, but Shocking Grasp does more damage, pound for pound. You could get both. I don't recommend it.
None shall escape!
You're going to make your character lawful evil. That's going to actually dictate what kind of deity you have as a choice. So I'm just going to put this up as, we're going to call him Theurge. If I can spell it. There we go. But again, any alignment works. Know that the alignment does dictate what deity you're going to get to pick from the list.
Hear you cry.
So that's going to be a thing. The other trick is going to be, you could go some levels of Magus and then some levels of Inquisitor back to Magus, but I find when you do that, you lose train of what you're doing. So that's why I'm going to go straight 9 levels of Magus right off the bat. So swing on over here. First, what we need to do is I need to show you weapons. So that's part of our discussion. I know which one I'm going to pick. It's going to be the Bardiche, but I want to show you why. This will be the best weapon category you have, unless, of course, you pick a feat giving you access to a better weapon, or a better weapon category for that matter. Go to the Honest Guy, and go to Name from A to Z, and then look for the Masterwork weapons. Click your picture, and if you see what stuff gets highlighted in red, that means you can't use it. See that? So get down to the M's for Masterwork, and you'll have literally damn near every weapon in the game available to you. And that's a Masterwork weapon. I'm not saying get them, I'm just showing you the differences between them. Notice the Bardiche is one of them. Okay? Info on this bastard. Okay damage, 1d10 solid damage, and again it's a two-handed, which is part of your thing. The big seller point here is it a 6-foot melee attack? Because that adds to your improved critical finish. The cleaving finish, excuse me. And that literally allows you to kill more guys in a bigger circle. That's why you want a 6-foot weapon, if at all possible here. There's a few of them. I'll point them out to you, but there's not very many in the game is the downside. You will find plenty of Masterwork +1 all the way up to +5. So if that's all you care about, again, they're there. Doesn't matter what weapon you grab. So find a good one. But you want one, like I said, that's 6 foot, and you want one with a good crit range, because again, we would love to crit more often than not. So this is one of the best in this category. Bastard Sword, again, is another one that could have worked, but notice how it's only 2 feet. See that? And you don't have any skill in it. It's an exotic weapon. Okay, you have martial weapon proficiency at level 1 as a Magus. So that is your saving grace. Notice the other one on the list was a Glaive. Here. 1d10, nothing fancy. Again, 3 times the damage when it does crit, but only crits on a nat 20. And again, in the 6-foot range. So it's not the best crit range, but again, when it does crit, it's gonna fucking hurt. So there is that. Another one was a long spear. So if you see this one, again, not quite the good damage that you wanted. Nice ×3, still 6 foot, and it's a simple weapon, so again, you have training yet, so that works out fine. There's another one, what the hell is it called? Earthbreaker? As far as a two-hander, but it's only a 2-foot range. Now, on that range, Fauchard, that was another one, but again, it's an exotic. And this one would be worth almost, in my opinion, unlocking the ability to use Fauchards, because it's crits on an 18, 19, 20. If you use something like a keen weapon, that's the best crit range in the game. That's a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20 on your die roll will have a chance to crit. 6-foot range, amazing damage. The question is how many of these are there in the game? That's the next thing to show you. So we'll go, I can do this since I have mods, so I'm doing it for you. Bag of Tricks. I can literally not only first force level my character up 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros in a row. Okay. Now he's level 20, or can be leveled up to 20. For items and equipment, I can show you the equipment. The easiest way to do this is enable filters, unlock everything, select everything off except for weapons, and type in the type of weapon we're talking about. So an example is Bardiche. These are the Bardiches in the game. Not a very extensive list, as you can see. The named ones are usually the best. If you click these things here, they give them to you. Again, you can't do this. I'm just going to gift them to myself so I can show you what they can do. And I don't even know where they are in the game. You can look it up online, but the Rod of Razors is amazing. Champion of Graves is amazing. But again, it's pie in the sky dreaming. But it's easy enough to find a +1 from a vendor, a +3 from a vendor, stuff like that. It's not going to be too hard to do. But that's a Bardiche. A Glaive is a Deterrence and Incorruptible Petals, the only named ones on the list. Again, there's still good ones in here. You know, if they say Flaming +1, if they say Keen, they're still good weapons, but they're not fancy like the Deterrence and the Incorruptible Petal. From there, let's get the Long Spear, all one word. And again, you have Dragon Slayer and Singing Edge. They're good, not great. The other one, was it the Falchion? No, it's the Fauchard. Dark Bidding. Corrosive Lucky Fauchard +3. Let's just grab that. Serpent Prince. That sounds good. And Mastery. Ooh, that sounds sexy. Okay, so we have a decent number of those. Again, I don't know how hard they are to find. Let's actually take a look at those, though, see what we have. Okay, so if you do it by type, they should be reasonably keyed in on each other. So here's your Bardishes. There's one. And Rod of Razors is the other. And again, you can find +1s, +2s, blah, blah, blah. But this is the two I was thinking of. Champion of Graves, solid +5 weapon. And notice that it does an extra 3d6 of negative energy damage per swing. That's a solid swing. Nice crit range. And again, if we make it a keen weapon, or if we get improved critical, which we will do, it'll be a 17, 18, 19, 20 to crit with that bastard. This one here's, again, more of the same. It's already keen, so we don't have to worry about it. It's adamantine, so we love that. And it's still +5. And it has an ability to shoot razors out in a cone 5 times a day, doing 20d6 of damage. So clearly these are going to be pie in the sky dreams for you to grab them. But these are the ones you're shooting for. And they look, in my opinion, pretty goddamn baller. The glaives, just long poles with swords on them as far as I'm concerned. Well, that's the Dragon Slayer Spear. Where's my other glaive? So here's your two glaive choices, named ones. Again, here's Deterrence, +3, Unholy. Gives you a bonus to Persuasion checks when you use to Intimidate, which is part of our build. It looks badass. Again, pretty decent. It's only a +3, though. We can make it better. And it's Unholy, which means I think it does extra damage against good targets. It only crits on a nat 20, though, but 3 times the damage, as we mentioned. But it has that 6-foot range we were shooting for. The other one is a +5 weapon, but it's a holy weapon. And again, looks badass, but maybe that's not your thing if you're playing a lawful evil character. Feels weird to wield a holy weapon. But it's a solid choice. The other ones were the spears. That's our Dragon Slayer and our Singing Edge. The Singing Edge, if you're getting a bonus from Bardic Performance, with a Bard obviously on the team since you don't do this, it goes up from a +3 to a +5 weapon. And it gives you extra armor. That's it. It's cool. I mean, it's appreciated, but it's nothing fancy. The Dragon Slayer is even more boring. It's +5. Against a dragon, it'd be a +7. And do 2d6 of extra damage to a dragon. There's not very many dragons in the game. Spoiler alert. So, by and large, the Bardish was my go-to. If we took training, though, and specifically picked up the Fauchards, take a look at these guys. So we have, let's just line up side by side. We had picked the Corrosive Lucky Fauchard. It's not named, but it's got a lot of bang for its buck. Notice +3. Destructive, which means the crit multiplier on it went up another 1. So instead of being ×2, it's ×3. That's awesome. Does extra corrosive damage on a hit. That's the 1d6 you're seeing here. And let's say why it's lucky. I guess the lucky is the destructive part. But notice that crit range. That's, like I said, the best possible crit range before you make it a keen weapon or the improved critical. And it being ×3, that's a solid screw you to crit fish for that bastard. Even with it being a +3, that's a totally worth weapon to take, in my opinion. Notice this one here, the Dark Bidding, negative energy damage. You gotta love that. That same crit range, same range for the weapon itself. It's greater necrotic. Notice that it allows you to cast Animate Dead spell once a day for 8 rounds. Hey, free pets, gotta love that shit. Nothing wrong with that. And thematically fits for your evil ass character, in my opinion. Serpent Prince, and this is a good one. Acid damage, they love their acid damage. Corrosive, destructive. Well, this is the same as the other one. So that's the same as the luck guy. You see that? You cheating bastard. Fine, whatever. It's the same. But again, solid choice. I guess they gave it a name later on. From here, Mastery. Just sounds like it sounds pretty badass. Grants its wielder continuous effect of freedom of movement, immunity to trip, and bull rush combat maneuvers. +5 enhancement to C and B, that's combat maneuvers. If you try to do a trip or a bull rush yourself, you get a bonus to the chance to do so. Notice this part, whenever the wielder successfully performs a combat maneuver, Mastery also deals damage to its target as if it landed a hit. What does that mean? If I bull rush you, I hit you with the weapon. If I trip you, I hit you with the weapon. If I do anything that's a combat maneuver and it works, I hit you with the weapon. It's kind of cool, but again, it requires us to take, since it's an exotic weapon, proficiency in it. which again, we can do, but you really need to be clear that you're doing that right up front, in my opinion, and I'm not going to do that. What are we going to do? Take that Magus all the way to level 9. Again, put Religion up and Arcana up. They have to get to 3, and Perception is always going up. Now, spell picks. Common thing for you to do, in my opinion, would be to focus on buffs and some spells that, again, are good, for example, but not on the other guy's spell list. So again, Clerics can't cast Grease, the Inquisitor can't cast Grease, Druids can't cast Grease, probably. And as such, this is a good spell for you to grab, in my opinion. Doesn't mean you have to grab it now. Another fine example would be Enlarged Person. You can get bigger. More strength means more damage with your weapon. And because you're bigger, by the way, that 6-foot reach turns into, I think, 10-foot reach. If you had a 2-foot weapon reach, which is the standard for most weapons, if you enlarge person, I believe your reach goes up to 10 or 6 feet. There you go, 6 feet for your other weapons. So if you really wanted to have, say, a falchion or a bastard sword, or whatever, long sword, something else that's a two-hander like a great axe, you could enlarge person and still get that 6-foot reach that I'm getting right now. But why settle for 6 when you can go to 10? You see my point? So again, kind of on you. I would not take enlarged person this early, though. I'd probably go with Grease. Going Magus. Point. And at this point, I'll unlock Persuasion just because. Now, I'm skipping ahead to this one, and then I'll come back to this. For this stuff here, your Magus Arcana, notice that we're going 9 levels deep, which means we're going to get 1, 2, 3 of these bastards all together. Some are going to unlock later on, and again, we will look at the list as it gets upgraded here and here. But right now, this is what we got to deal with. Of these, the only 2 that really stick out to me is either Wand Wielder or Extended Magic. Why? Because our Arcane actually would be based on our Charisma. Our Charisma is kind of crap. It's only 16. That's a +3. That's only a +3 to your swing. That's kind of shit. But you're going to get Charisma gear, so, maybe you're going to be like, well, I'll build into it. Again, that's fine. Feel free to grab it. I like the fact that your buffs are going to be kind of crappy for duration. Since we're 9 levels of this and 4 levels of that, you're not going to have a lot of long-lasting buffs. But 3 of them a day can be doubled in duration. That's why I'm grabbing this one. As far as the feat is concerned, now's your time to grab your weapon focus. Again, we can start cleaving, finish, and other stuff, but screw that. Get the weapon focus now. Get a bonus to your swing. And again, I'm just going to pick the weapon that I want, in this case, Bardiche. Again, there's a lot of good stuff in here, but it's one of those where if you don't have training in it, it's not worth it. If it's not 6-foot range, it's not worth it. If it doesn't have a decent crit range, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Alright, we got our Grease. Knows we got Cause Fear. It's a completely garbage spell. You won't even use it. Or if you do, you'll stop using it very soon. For spells in here, though, auto-hit moves are like Magic Missile, are staples. Snowball, something the other guy can't use, and Snowball is a solid spell for damage because of this right here. No spell resistance. Literally, if they have spell resistance, you're having a hard time hitting them with spells and doing damage. Snowball is a solid choice. Yes, there is a save. Yes, they could be immune to cold or resistant to cold, so that always sucks. But if it's not an issue, and you can still hit them with it, even with them making their save, it has nothing to do with the damage. The damage still goes through. It's just whether they're staggered for a round or not. So again, I still maintain that Snowball is a solid choice. Other possible choices are, AoE moves like Burning Hands. I like Flare Burst, just for straight up screwing bad guys over for their chance to hit me and my team. Magic Missile is always a staple. Ray of Enfeeblement, again, you are a lawful evil son of a bitch, so Necromancy spells kind of feel right to me. But again, on you. You're not going to get many choices here, though. Going Magus. Now we're actually able to cast level 2 spells. The 1 point here, the first one I'm going to put back into Dexterity to take it from that 7 back up to an 8. Yes, it's still a penalty. Yes, we're still sucking on reflexes, and our armor kind of sucks besides. But I'd rather get that back up to a -1 instead of a -2. Last 4 points, though, are going to go in Strength, all of them. So we're going to finish with a 20. From here, we're done with Arcana and Religion. You can keep adding to them if you choose. I'm not going to. I'm going to unlock, use Magic Device, and I'm going to pump Athletics through the roof. Same with Perception and Persuasion. Those 3 will get to 20. Use Magic Device, we'll get up, but it won't be anywhere near 20. If you don't like that, spread them around somewhere else. Unlock trickery, up to you. But if you're not really soloing, I really don't think you need to unlock everything. Level 2 spells, again, go with what you know. So touch attack, frigid touch, and some solid buff. Blur, mirror image, either or. We're going to get both of them, but it's on you for the order that you take them. Going Magus. Now again, I don't have to go Magus any further. I can go Inquisitor for 4 levels, and then I can get 10 levels of Mystic Theurge if I so choose, and that would leave me with 2 more levels to pick whatever I want. I could do 5 Inquisitor, 5 Magus. I could do 6 Inquisitor, 4 Magus. It's kind of on you. But I already did my number crunching, and I decided 9 Magus, 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4 of Inquisitor, 7 levels of Mystic Theurge was all I really cared about. It's still a solid swing, still plenty of buffs, and I managed to get to level 6 spells for my Magus at least. So I'm going to keep going Magus, like I said. Keep going Perception. Let's get Persuasion up. I don't need that much. Let's get 3 and 3. There we go. Now, again, I'm hopping to this one. Why do I switch between these two? This one's an all-inclusive feat. If the feat was available, you can get it here. This is a Magus feat. Magus feats are fighter-type feats, like combat stuff, as well as spell-casting stuff. If it doesn't fit in that category, a fine example would be like, you'll notice that I don't have skill focus in here. Skill focus would be in this one. Right here. Okay. So again, I check on the limited list first for the feat that I want and say, oh, I want this. Oh, it's not here. Well, I guess I'll take Cleaving Finish. And then I go to this one and say, oh, I wonder if that thing's in here. Oh, there it is. And then I get the one that I did want. Again, on you. Again, the question is do you want to go all in on the Cleaving first, or do you want to go all in on like the Cornigan Smash Shatter defenses first? Now, how do I tell you the difference? You're going to get both. I'm not worried about that. How do they play different? Cleaving Finish, improved Cleaving Finish, and whatever we're shooting for here. Really all we're doing is, if you hit a target and you kill it, you'll hit another target within range. If we get the improved Cleaving Finish, which is the goal, if I hit a target and kill it, then I swing at another target in range. If I kill that one, then I swing at another target in range. If I kill that one, you get the idea. You just keep killing in a fucking circle until you either miss, don't kill, or run out of bad guys, basically 2 kill, for instance. So that's the thing. You can't recycle back in on the list of bad guys to keep swinging again. But this is good. So is the Dreadful Carnage Cornigan Smash Shatter Defenses combo. What does that one do? Well, Cornigan Smash is going to be one of the first ones we get. For instance, it's we're looking for Dazzling Display, for instance, and then we can't get it. All right, we can't get it because we need a Persuasion of 6. That's right. If you scroll down here, look under the C's. Persuasion has to be 6, which means the soonest we could get it would be either at level 6, which we can't, or level 7, which we can. But, again, I don't want to cross-dip. I don't want to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because then we're weak across the board. So if you can't commit to one, then commit to the other. In our case, Cleaving Finish, and then Great Cleave. And then the last one that's missing is Improved Cleaving Finish. Okay, from here, I'm going to grab that mirror image. Magus. Notice that we're getting another Magus Arcana. Got Perception always. I'm going to get Athletics up again and Persuasion up again. And now the question is what to grab here. From the new stuff that was added, the Empowered Magic Pass, Enduring Blade is a solid choice, and that's one we're going to go with. Prescient Attack looks appealing. Catches them flat-footed if you activate this, but only for one combat round for the target that you have. But we can set that up with our Shatter defenses. So this isn't as necessary, and I think that we will be able to hit them. We won't have to worry so much then about whether we can set them up with the flat-footed attack. So I'd rather have buffs last longer on my weapon for minutes per caster level. So again, best case scenario for us will be a 9-minute buff on our weapon. Level 2, gonna grab myself Crowd Control. That could either be Web or Glitter Dust. Can't tell you what's the right answer. Probably gonna grab both. I'll grab Glitter Dust. Going Magus. Notice that now we can wear medium armor. This is another reason that we went Magus this far up, at least level 7. Because while, yes, the Inquisitor gets medium armor from the get-go. If you try to cast your Magus spells without getting this, you are at a spell, arcane spell failure. That could cause you to cast a spell and then lose the spell. This guarantees you don't have that problem. And again, now I can literally go 7 Magus, 4 Inquisitor, and then finish 2 more in Magus, and I would not be adverse to that. But we're so close to level 8, which is again a bonus, attack bonus for us, and level 9, which is the really nice bonus of spells, attack, and resistances. I figure we might as well just finish it all the way to 9. That's why I say that. Perception, athletics, persuasion, use magic device. Now, last one here. And we don't have it. Why don't we have it? We need a better base attack bonus. You see that? We're not quite high enough to hit those guys. As soon as we'd be at +6, we'd be here at 8. So again, we can't grab it. And that's fine. Sucks, but it's what it is. But then we work on the other one. The other one was the Cornigan Smash and the Dazzling Display. Now, on that, notice that Dazzling Display is here, Cornigan Smash is not. I do not got my Persuasion up to 6 yet. I could. So if I wanted to change that out, I'd have to actually backpedal. Let's actually do that. Say cancel. Back to leveling. Level 7. Sounds good. Perception up. Get Persuasion up to at least 6. Like that. That would be the way to do it. Then, again, we'll see it. Cornigan Smash. Why is this important? With power attack on, if we hit in the target while power attack on, which of course you're going to leave on from start to finish, we make a intimidation persuasion check on the target. If we pass that check, which means we intimidate them, they are shaken. That alone sets them up for being easier to hit, harder for them to hit us, and a lot of other penalties besides. Then we work towards getting shatter defenses, of course, which is part of the build. Level 1, I'm going to grab that snowball, because again, I know it's an amazing spell. Level 3, first chance to get stuff from here. Notice that Vampire Touch, thumbs down, because we're going to get it for free. We will get Stinking Cloud. We're not immune to it yet, but once we get into Inquisitor, we'll unlock a spell called Delay Poison. You cast it on yourself. This is a poison cloud. Even if it doesn't kill you, still it's considered poison. If you're immune to the poison, you can stand in the cloud, the bad guys are retching their guts out, and you beat the shit out of them. I'll also take some extra damage with Fireball. Vampire Touch, medium armor, yes please. Keep going. Now it's Strength always. We're going to push that up, and we'll get that one caught up, and we'll put one and use magic device now. Now, level 3 spell, let's get some haste going. Sounds good to me. 9, this is our last Magus level. Put Perception up to 9. 1 and 1 and 1. Sounds good to me. Now, there's our improved cleaving finish. Grab it now. Again, this is a laundry list of stuff you needed to get here. But, look what you got there. Cleaving finish any number of times per round. So again, the cleaving finish, which is this guy here. No. This guy here. You make a melee attack. Period. Just melee attack somebody. If you kill someone with that melee attack, you attack someone else within range. That's why we needed a 6-foot range weapon. Remember? That's the goal here. Big breach. Magus Arcana. Again, I could get prescient attack. Not going to. I'm going to get something that takes their armor away. Even if it's only for 1 round, Dimension Strike is a nice bonus. Yes, it takes 2 of your pool points to use to do this, but if you really have a tough opponent, activate that, swing, swing, swing. At least for that 1 round, you'll wail on the son of a bitch. Definitely a bonus. Level 3, get yourself some Lightning Bolt. Why not? Of course, we get Animate Dead. We don't have access to it yet because it's a level 4 spell. We won't get that for another 5 levels. So it won't be till like level 14 or so that we actually get that. It can't be helped, but it is needed. Now we're going to Inquisitor. And again, Monster Tactician versus Sacred Huntsmaster, kind of on you. None's better than another. You're only going 4 levels into it. But sometimes people like the extra durable pet. I don't mind the monster summons, because I can cast them at a distance. Excuse me. Notice for our deity, we have to pick a deity. Doesn't much matter. It does unlock their weapon of choice, but there's no weapon that was any better than the martial weapons that we have already access to. So that's inconsequential. We are limited because of our lawful evil alignment that you specifically chose. So that's the list that you have to pick from. I can't say one's better than another, but notice when you pick one, you do get to pick one of their domains. For instance, Fire Domain allows me to, because we're not going to get level 6, we're only going to get to level 4, but I would be able to cast, say, a Firebolt at distance. Yay. Maybe I would care about the Magic Domain, because it allows me to throw my weapon into their face at distance. If you don't like that, maybe Nordberger will allow you to do Knowledge Domain, where you literally have a Void form, make you immune to critical hits, but only for a number of rounds equal to the level of your Inquisitor. So right now for 1 round. Eventually 4. It's a toggle. You can activate it and shut it back off. But basically you can make yourself immune to crits for at least 4 rounds of a fight. Once a day. That sounds like a buff to me. From here, notice that we get even more skill points as an Inquisitor, so there is that. That'll allow us to catch these guys up. Level 1. I'm going to grab stuff that's a buff to us. Shield of Faith. And a damaging spell that we won't get from the other guy. Because the Magus could get this, but not for long, long, long periods of time. Because of that, we might as well grab it for ourselves here. Inquisitor. Looks good. Now, feat-wise, we got our improved cleaving finish. We're done there. Now, do we get a Cornigan Smash? Yes, we need Dazzling Display, and then we need Shatter Defenses. And then we'll need Dreadful Carnage, which won't be available till level 17. I'm going to grab a buff. Divine Favor or Bless. Bless will last longer, I suppose, but Divine Favor does more damage. Kind of on you. We'll probably get both, but just saying. Inquisitor. Strength, always strength. That one's always up, this one's always up, this one's always up now, and then the rest can go into use magic device, or whatever you feel. We will get 1 teamwork feat only, and because we have solo tactics, that will work for us so long as we're standing next to an ally. An ally includes pets that you summon. So, if I stand next to any of these damn monsters that I summon, I will get whatever bonus these could give me. So I can have a bonus, say, to my swing. My flanking goes from a +2 to a +4, nothing wrong with that. Maybe I want extra armor. Maybe I want to be a really good spellcaster guy and have a bonus to not only my concentration checks, because we get interrupted in combat, that could suck, and a bonus to my spell pen, +2. That's a solid buff. I'll take allied spellcaster, sure, why not? Level 1, we could take something like Inflict Light Wounds, a melee touch attack. You cannot channel these through your weapon. Yes, you can channel melee touch attacks through your Magus weapon, but only if it's on the Magus spell list, so this won't work. You can still touch them on the shoulder, though, and then still swing your weapon. Nothing wrong with that, but this is lame damage. I would recommend you get something like a penalty to the bad guy, or again, a buff to yourself. Cool. Another level Inquisitor. This is our last level of Inquisitor we're going to officially take. Get those guys up. Bunch of points over there and use Magic Device for a change. Now, notice we're looking for our Shattered Defenses. Right there. Now, at the very least, we have everything we need, with the exception of Dreadful Carnage, which will just make you so much better. That's down here. Everything else is whatever you want, but I'll guide you towards stuff that I think is a good choice. This is the one, though, that if they're shaken, frightened, or panicked for any reason, whether it's from us from Cornigan Smash, from us from like a fear spell, or a teammate scaring them for whatever reason, they are flat-footed. This is what sets that up, where it's easier to hit the guys with the high dexterity, right? So this is an amazing upgrade for you. And again, if they have armor, we have Dimension Strike to make their armor go away, even if it's only for 1 round. It's a solid, solid upgrade. So again, this really does set up a lot of bad stuff. Level 2 spells now. This was our Delayed Poison I told you about. And, say, Resist Energy, Lesser Restoration, See Invis, all these are choices we will take. Even Bone Shaker is a solid choice. We probably will get around to it too. But I would take buffs from the Inquisitor side first before damage. Resist Energy. Again, stuff that you don't get from the Mega side. Now we're done. We have everything now we need for Mystic Theurge, and we're going to rush Mystic Theurge till the end of the build. This will allow us to increase our spell progression for both the Arcane and the Divine side at the same time. As an Inquisitor, as an Eldritch Scion. We don't get many points, but again, we get enough to upgrade the 3, and then every once in a while we get a 4th one, so we can upgrade the Use Magic Device again every now and again. Inquisitor's 2nd level spell, what do you want? Lesser Restoration, See Invis. I say Lesser Restoration on those would probably be your best bet. Again, you're going to have penalties to your strength, your dex, your intelligence, your whatever from various bad guys. This can take some of those away. And if you get fatigued for any reason, you could cast this on yourself and then you're no longer fatigued. On that, if you're fatigued because you've been walking and walking and walking across the overland map, yes, you can make that fatigue go away once you get into a fight, but know that the moment you start traveling on that overland map again, you'll probably go back to being fatigued very quickly. Level 2, I'm going to grab me a Scorching Ray. I know you're thinking I was going to grab Web. And you probably should. If you can still get one other spell, which I think we still have one more coming, I'll take Web. Why get something that we're really bad at shooting? Because, again, we can make it easier to hit. So there's nothing wrong with that. Dimension Strike and then Scorching Ray would be a still solid screen to the bad guy. And I think that does work. Level 4. Actually, I take that back. Dimension Strike wouldn't do any good because it's a touch attack. You would need Prescient attack or flat-footed. So again, if we catch him flat-footed, hitting him with this would make it really easy to land that attack. Level 4. I like Dimension Door, period. The ability to teleport is an amazing upgrade for your character. I like Dragon's Breath for some weird damage types. Mystic Theurge. Now, check for Dreadful Carnage just to prove to yourself it's not there. And then grab something like Improved Critical for your Bardiche, so that it crits in the highest crit range possible. 2nd level spell. Again, we got everything we wanted except for See Invis and Bone Shaker. Now, if you want to get Bone Shaker now, go ahead. But I do like having the ability to see targets. We did take, of course, Glitter Dust. That's a level 2 Magus spell. And again, that lights up invisible targets. So if that's your thing, again, feel free to grab an auto hit move like Bone Shaker. But you're probably going to end up getting both. Level 1 Magus spell. I think this is our last one. No, I think we got a couple more coming. I'm going to grab... Oh, my Inquisitor. There we go. Yeah, this might be my last one. I'm going to grab Enlarged Person, so you can make yourself big. Animate Dead's available to us now. I see that. So we had access to that. I was waiting for us to get to level 4 casting. So we had that last round, or last level. Now, get yourself something like Stone Skin for some extra protection. And while you may say, well, aren't you undead and have like that DR10 slash magic? Yes, this is DR10 slash adamantine. So what's the difference? If it's an adamantine weapon, it'll penetrate this DR10. If it's a magic weapon, it'll penetrate the DR10 slash magic. It has to be, now if I cast a spell on me, it has to be a magic adamantine weapon to get through my DR10. They don't stack. It's not a DR20 total. It's still DR10. It's just what penetrates it. A magic weapon or an adamantine weapon, or in this case, with both of these buffs up, it would have to be both. So as long as it's not a magic adamantine weapon, I will always have a DR10 covering my character. That's a solid upgrade. Keep going. More strength, always more strength. Athletics up, persuasion up. First level Inquisitor spell. I'm going to grab, there's really not anything really to give a shit about here. Maybe Bane. Maybe you want to run faster. Sometimes that is helpful, especially on the team when you need to get from point A to point B to save a teammate. So I'll say that. Level 3rd spell here, 2 of them, no less. Let's see, we got good buffs in here like protection from energy, prayer, magical investment. We're taking that for sure. I could get the communal versions of the spells we've been talking about: delay poison communal, resist energy communal, see invisible communal. But if you're not on a team, and even if you are, quite frankly, someone else on your team is a better caster than you, let them cast the communal versions. You'll take the lame-ass ones early on. Because, again, it's something that you can do for yourself for a long period of time. Prayer, on the other hand, solid buff. And debuff to the bad guy, no less. Level 4 spell. Grab yourself, what are you thinking? And being invisible still is helpful. Don't kid yourself. Just because we're not doing sense vitals where we get the sneak attack love doesn't mean you don't want to be invisible. It's harder to hit you. It's like a 50% chance to straight up miss you. And then you have better stealth, and you can catch them flat-footed this way, because if they can't see you, then, again, you're flat-footed. Going Mystic Theurge. Boom, boom, boom. And one there. Now, what we got here? First, let's grab our 3rd level spell of... This is where you start feeling like you're a cleric, like a pocket cleric, is what I call it. So like remove curse, remove disease, stuff that's cleric based. You know, stuff that will help you cure yourself, cure your team of afflictions is helpful. And again, you can use the wand and the scroll and whatever, so if that's not your thing, feel free to grab something else. I would not think Searing Light is worth a while. While it's a raise spell and you suck at those, and we are got Scorching Ray, it's kind of unnecessary to grab that too. If you want to be a Ray guy, go do that thing, but you're going to suck at swinging at that shit. I'd be more inclined to grab, say, Dispel Magic or Heroism, or even a Cure spell or Inflict Serious Wounds, because even as bad as some of those Inflict spells were for damage, this is not that bad. And again, you will do not 15 damage here, because your best case scenario for you will be 11. So it'll be 3d8 plus 11, so minimum of 14, maximum of, what is that, 24, 25, 20, sorry, 24, 25, 35 damage. And again, on a touch attack where you just go boop on his shoulder and then swing your weapon and swing your weapon and swing your weapon, that's still pretty good. So that's not a bad idea. But I still maintain that remove disease, remove curse, things of this nature are kind of your bread and butter. Yeah. I'm going to grab here Dreadful Carnage. This is the one now, if you kill a target, period, no matter how you do it, you explode in a circle where you intimidate anyone near you. On that, make sure you're near somebody. Kill someone at the far range with like a raise spell, nothing wrong with that, or an auto hit move like, say, Bone Shake or Bone Shatter or something like that, fine. But make sure you're near some of his friends so that when he dies, they get scared because you're near them. Because it's the way it goes. And again, if you scare them, now they're shaken and now you're set up for your shatter defenses. You see that? Now, level 3 spell here. Slow is a good spell, but I'll happily take Displacement. And while you may say, well, don't you have Greater Invis and the Greater Invis better? Yes, but it's a level 3 casting versus a level 4 casting. Again, if you feel different, grab Slow. It is a solid spell choice, but I still maintain that Displacement is still good. From here, I'm going to grab Acidic Spray, solid damage, and a poison spell like Cloud Kill. Go Mystic Theurge. Do. 3rd level spell. Get that remove curse now. Level 2 spell. Get yourself Web. Level 5 spell. Get yourself Vampiric Shadow Shield. You're an evil son of a bitch. Why not do damage to them and heal yourself at the same time? Sounds good to me. And you're going to get hit. Just because you're wearing armor and have spells besides doesn't mean they're not going to hit you. Might as well be a prick to them at the same time. Keep going. Here, and use Magic Device. Last feat pick. And again, not much matter what you pick. I'll give you examples of stuff, though. Like things like toughness or extra HP, sure. Maybe you want better spell pen. You want to get yourself a teamwork feat, another one. Capitalize on those little monsters you're going to summon at your feet. Sure, go ahead and do that thing. Outflank is a good choice. Shake it off is decent. Shielded caster, all that jazz is still in your repertoire. You can even get a meta magic. It kind of makes your spellbook unwieldy at this point because you have 2 really big spellbooks now. But again, I'm not telling you not to do it. I just wouldn't. Intimidating Prowess is the one I'm going to take, but I'll come back to that in a second. Other viable options are things like Blind Fight, stuff that upgrades your armor. So Armor Folk is medium armor, +1 to your armor class. You can do stuff like extra arcane pool points. It's only 2, but so what? Improved initiative so that you act at first. Remember, your dexterity sucks, so it helps to have better initiative with this. But I like Intimidating Prowess. This is the one that adds your strength modifier to your charisma modifier, and then calculates that along with all the points you put in persuasion to calculate your intimidation check. So again, the more you buff your strength and your charisma, means that your intimidation checks are going to be amazing, and that's part of your setting them up to be scared, right? Second level. Get yourself, what? This is your last pick probably for level 2. So, see Invis. Seems weird that we didn't grab that yet, but I guess we're grabbing it now. Level 4, get yourself a Death Ward for sure. Another level 4, Divine Power for sure. Those are 2 staples in my opinion. We'll have one more I think we get to pick at that level, and that's about it. Level 5 spell here, get yourself Cone of Cold. Remember those Animate Dead spells that you had back way back when? Here? These guys are immune to cold. So if you summon them, and then you can do Cone of Cold behind them in a big-ass cone, hitting them and the bad guys that they've grouped up on, they won't take any damage, but the bad guys hopefully will. Last level of Mystic Theurge and last level of your build. Last point in strength, better swing, better damage, very nice. More athletics, sure. Perception and persuasion, sure. 20, 3, 3, 20, 20, 12. Level 1 Inquisitor spell, this is your last chance here. Let's grab ourselves Bane. Level 4 spell, last choice in here. Freedom of movement is good. Notice that greater invisibility was here too. Hold monsters, a solid choice. Stone Skin was available as well. Fear. Remember, we're trying to set things up when guys are scared. This is the way to do it. But I maintain things like Restoration is a solid choice. This is one that literally removes penalties like fatigue and exhaustion, and it's better than lesser Restoration. It's not amazing, but again, if you're running alone, this is helpful. And there's plenty of ways to get freedom of movement. So I'd rather have something like Restoration on tap. Level 4 and level 6 spells left. I'm going to grab myself. How about we get ourselves some Controlled Fireball, so we don't set our little Skeletors on fire. Level 6 spells, you only get 2, so make sure they count. You even highlighted one you want right off the bat, Transformation. Then from there, kind of what you do. I know me, Acid Fog's kind of my go-to. Chain Lightning's good. Siroko's good. AoE stuff. Hell, you're strength-based, so Dragon Kind 1 is even a viable option. And you can cast spells in this form. That's a solid buff to your strength, and your con, and your armor, and your attacks, and this gets better from there. And you can do all your spells, and do Corning and Smash, and Dreadful Carnage, I believe, still in this form. So you can still get pretty fucking crazy with that. And you get a Dragon's Breath, and you get like 5 attacks. You get a bite, 2 claws, and 2 wing attacks. So 5 attacks in a round. That's solid. Doesn't last forever, but still a solid buff. And again, it's a size bonus, not an enhancement bonus to strength and con. Why is that important? Because your belts of strength, belts of con, or whatever we're talking about, those are enhancement bonuses. They won't stack. But because this is a size bonus, it will stack with it. So again, they'll just be better, better, better. So that's a viable option for you. But again, I'm more of a practical, I like seeing spells that do damage. You can do True Seeing, but we already got See and Viz, and True Seeing is better, but it's kind of, Hellfire Ray would be okay, but you're only going to get 2 beams out of it, because you're not level 19 for caster level. But there's ways around that as well. Disintegrate, you're not really much in the Ray caster spell either. But again, like I said, Chain Lightning, Acid Fog, or Sirocco, one of those 3 would be what I'd go with. And in my case, I like Acid Fog, because if I make myself immune to the acid, with say Resist Energy for acid, I can stand in that cloud. And they will just constantly take acid damage, assuming they're susceptible, and I'm not, while I'm beating the shit out of them. And that's a good tactic, in my opinion. But that's your build, buddy. Just to show you some stuff. Your swing. Well, first, let's actually just... F10, I want to get you some stuff. Let's show you some items that might be of interest to you. So first, let's talk about armor. You're going to go medium, right? So you want chainmail. Well, actually, first let's go scale mail. Okay. I'm going to get you some of the named ones. So, like, bone mail is about the only one on this list that I actually give a shit about. Raging Bulwark's kind of crap, and the Armor of Wealth is kind of weird. Mithril, of course, is always appreciated. Excuse me, I've been up too late. Hide armor is another type of armor. Matter of fact, I'm going to limit it to armor so we're not wasting your time looking for stuff that's all over the damn place. Primal Hide, that's boring. Patchwork Hide, no. Jester's Vest, I needed hide, that's a padded armor. Tiger Stripes, on the other hand, is good. And I want to say the Lenorm hide I've found before, but I've never found the Albeast hide or the Hodag hide. So I'm not going to pick those on purpose. Other than hide and scale, there's also breastplate and chainmail. So if we do breastplate, and there's ones that I like Heart of Valor, Black Dragon breastplate, Void Mirror. Then last one was chainmail. There's some really good chainmail in here. In the bottom of this list, you got Talwyn's armor, Celestial armor, Mail of Clear Skies, and there's other stuff in here too. But by and large, those are the ones I gave a shit about. From there, reset your filters. I'm doing this for you, so you don't have to. If you look for anything that does wisdom, this will be stuff that is either a bonus or a penalty to wisdom, or some kind of wisdom in the name, or like it lowers the wisdom of the bad guy, or there's a wisdom check, or something like that, where you see wisdom in any of this stuff. But notice that wisdom's not in a lot of things. There's plenty of hats, headgear, like Metal Reborn, crowns, Judgmental Gaze, Deceiver's Hat. All these things are going to be bonuses to wisdom. We want a bonus to wisdom and charisma. There's plenty of those too. The best, in my opinion, is the Hat of Mental Perfection plus 8. That's 8 for your intelligence, your wisdom, and your charisma. This is a solid upgrade. It's late in the game that you usually find it. I can get it early, but it's not the point. The other stuff you could put in your headgear, there's some really impressive headgear out there. I want to show you that here in a second. But that's wisdom. Another thing to look for would be charisma, because we want to make sure your charisma gets buffed as well. There's a lot of different choices for charisma. Again, a lot of head stuff. There's weapons that give it as well. I'll give Ring of Circumstances, though. We definitely want that. And Dead Man's Hat. Yeah, that's the hat you want. Other than that, Striggoy's Embrace. There's a cloak. Striggoy's Embrace is pretty potent. There's a robes and stuff too, but you're not a robe guy. You're wearing medium armor at the very least, right? That should get me roughly where I wanted to go. I do think I wanted to check belts, though. I want to do belt. Belt of Physical Perfection plus 8. And again, that's chances are the one you're going to want. Doesn't mean that's going to be the one you find. But as soon as you can get it, you definitely want it. Strength, Dex, Con. All go up 8. Hat. Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma. All went up 8. These are the 2 best items in the game that I can find you. But this is not the item I'm suggesting you grab. The reason I say that is, see this kick-ass hat? Turns you into an undead. Notice how your con goes negative. But notice your HP is crap now. But if you get something that buffs that charisma, your charisma stat, your bonus here, adds to your HP and adds to your fortitude. Watch this. So here's your Striggoy's Embrace plus 8 to your charisma. Ready? Adds to your HP. Oh, it doesn't add to your fortitude. That sucks. Oh, that's right. It's unmodified. That sucks. But still, I don't mind taking a small dip here to get a solid bonus there. And again, you are undead, so a lot of bonuses for being undead, like immunity to cold, and diseases, and poisons, and just random shit in general. So being undead while this is on is awesome. It says unidentified because you don't have any skill in identifying shit, quite frankly. Ring of Circumstances, again, is something that's pricey, but you will find it and you'll buy it as soon as you can. Check the vendors at Pit Tax once you get to there to that, there's the Rush Light tournament. When you get to the tournament, check all the vendors before you buy a goddamn thing. As soon as you find the Ring of Circumstances, if you can afford this fucker, you want it. This is something that once you rest and activate it, you can activate 4 buffs. See all the things you can buff? Pick 4 things on that list. I highly recommend Strength, Wisdom, Charisma, and Armor. And that's all on those lists. So again, you don't have to pick those 4, but pick 4 things. And they will always be on. They'll always be a +2 to those things, +1 to the armor. And again, a solid bonus for your character. As far as armor is concerned, notice that we have breastplate. It is a solid armor buff of 11. Allows you to have a max dex +3, which we're getting that. So technically it's 11 +3, so 14. That's not bad. and it gives you acid resistance 30, and it's reasonably light-ish. Notice we have a variety of other ones. We have Heart of Valor, another breastplate that's mithril, so again, never a speed problem with this one. It's an 8 armor, so it's not as impressive, but again, it allows max dexterity of +5. We don't have +5, we have +3. About to be +4. Once I rest and turn that on, this will go up another 1. So, I'll be at an 8 +4, and that'll be 12. That's not great, but again, not horrible, and it protects you from fear. Don't like that. How about we grab the Tiger Stripes, where you can literally turn yourself into a goddamn Smilodon at will. It's a 9 armor, +4 for max dexterity, which we will get to, so 9 and 4 is 13. That's a solid armor class. And when you turn into that Smilodon, and when you run out of spells, perhaps, you just beat the shit out of them with multiple claw swipes and bite attacks, and those are at a +4 to your swing and +4 to their +5 to their swing and +5 to their damage, and your power attack and all that shit still works. So I think you're still doing Cornigan Smash and Dreadful Carnage and all that shit while you're literally in Smilodon form. It's kind of cool. Don't like that. Lenorm Hide, how about being immune to fire? Bonus to your saving throws against transmutation spells. What are those? Slow spell is a transmutation spell. So is Baleful Polymorph, where you turn into a dog. So is Carpool, with Obsidian Flow. And again, those do fire damage as well, so you're immune to the fire aspect of it as well. But again, a bonus to your saves against them for the other effects, slowing you down and what have you. So again, a lot of good stuff out of that armor. What about Bone Mail? This one's a little weird. And it looks baller, I might say. I mean, holy shit, I want to talk about an evil-looking undead son of a bee. This is wasted on you, quite frankly. I mean, the immunity to cold's nice. The armor of 9 plus max dex of 3, we can get that right now. That's 12 armor. That's not great, but it's not horrible. The DR5/bludgeoning, complete waste for you. Because you're undead-ish, because of your bloodline. Remember, you have that 5 right here, /magic. DR10/magic here. Now, I suppose you have 5/bludgeoning. So if it's a magic weapon that's a piercing weapon, this wouldn't protect you at all, but the bludgeoning from that, the DR5/bludgeoning, this would protect you at least 5 points worth. So there is that, I suppose. So it's not completely wasted, but it's much less than what you're getting from just your innate toughness. And we cast Stone Skin on ourselves besides. But again, stacking layers. Remember, they don't add, it's not 10 plus 10 plus 5. No, it's just 10 or 5, whichever is the best case scenario. So again, if I have this and Stone Skin on and my natural 10 DR10/magic, if it's a magic slashing weapon that's adamantine, I would have DR5 protection from it. That's not amazing, but it's at least limiting the incoming damage some. And again, we have a decent HP pool right now. It's going to get a little higher once I up this with this ring. What else? We did breastplate, Talwyn's armor. Here you go. Talwyn's armor, chainmail, terrible armor. 10 armor, 2 max dexterity, which we've already exceeded. So we're at 10 plus 2 is 12. But notice the bonus it gets you. If you get sneak attacked or critical hitted, that's a word. It has a 50% chance to land. What does that mean? Literally, if a critical hit would go through, it will roll a 100-sided die. If it's 50 or less, it doesn't crit. It goes back to being normal damage. Same with sneak attack. If it could sneak attack you, it rolls a 100-sided die. If it's 50 or less, then it doesn't sneak attack, just does normal damage. That's power. That's an extremely tough character at that point. Don't like that one. Here's Void Mirror, breastplate. It's not amazing, 9 and max 3, so that's 12 again. But again, notice the armor bonus for dodge against ray attacks. There's a lot of ray attacks at the end of the game. So again, having a +4 to this against ray spells, basically, is what we're telling you. That's a solid upgrade for your armor. Not amazing, but still good, moving in the right direction. And it's adamantine, so again, there's that DR2/dash that it gives you. So again, there's some protection there as well. Don't like that. Here's Celestial armor. One of the 2 chainmails that I like. This one's extremely nice. 9, max dexterity of 8. We don't have that, but I can get it to at least +4 or +5. More on that in a minute. And again, 5 would take it 9, and 5 would be 14 armor. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of bland and boring. Looks cool. This one here one of my favorites though. 11 armor by default. Max dexterity of +5, and I told you I can actually get that to +5, so I can get that full +16 armor then, is what we're telling you. And again, it's considered light armor. That's actually quite powerful. And it looks, whatever. But that's your medium armors. Like I said, lots of choices there. Notice we're missing ring, a bracer, booties, and so on and so forth. Again, look for stuff, but by and large, this is your go-to kit. About that ring, I want to rest to show this to you. So we're going to go here, do rest, instant rest, close. Notice these show up now. You can highlight them. So you activate 4 things. That's what the ring does. So let's give myself armor. How about I have more charisma? Give me more wisdom and make me stronger. That's 4 things. Okay. Look at your character now. 10. Hey, wait a minute. What the hell? It's not updating. I paused or something? It should be working. Give me a second. Oh, look. I know it works. Game might just be glitching out on me. Did activate it, didn't I? Oh, I'm looking at dexterity like a dumbass. I didn't up my dexterity. I upped my strength. There we go. I can up dexterity instead of, say, wisdom, or instead of charisma. It's up to you on that one, I suppose. I'd rather have the extra spells a day for wisdom and charisma and better DC checks, but you know what? I think about that, though. Let's actually change something. Instead of the armor, let's just up the dexterity. Why? Because that's still better armor. +1 dodge. Only flat-footed is less. So it's +1 here, just not here. So I still get that. I get more reflexes, +1, thanks to my increased dexterity. And I get a better mobility, trickery, stealth bonus because of the extra dexterity, I suppose. So I'll take that. Okay, there we go. So strength, dex, wisdom, charisma. That's what we buffed with the ring. Notice we have a variety of stuff that we can do with spells. With our gear, as well as our innate abilities. I like to put them in a tray in a specific way. I do my coup de grace next to my charge, next to my fighting defensively, next to my power attack in case I need to shut it off. I never put these ring things down here, because once I set the 4 that I want, I don't set anything else. I just leave them on. Well, these ones here, I definitely want down here. So like a speed weapon, sure. How about a fire weapon? Sounds good. What kind of spell I can do is I got Grave Touch over here. I can do Extended Magic. We'll put that over there, I suppose. Grasp of the Undead, AoE move. Dimension Strike, we'll move that over there. Can summon different pets. And I have this kick-ass raise spell, Energy Drain, for my cloak. Or I can do my Void form. Or whatever. I put my spells over here, usually. Sorry, this video's going on so long, buddy, but it takes a while to explain these things to people. Come on. Get out there. What I normally do for spells is I take like a light spell. I'll take the good one from the Magus. Put it over here. This is the Magus one. And I usually put like my melee touch attack, the one that I can channel infinitely through my weapon. But since you're using a two-handed weapon, this is a bad idea. I would not use that. Take it off. I will use, however, something like Guidance. Guidance is a solid buff. Cast it on yourself once a round. Lasts for a minute until you expel it. A bonus to your swing, a bonus to your saving throw, or your next skill check. You'll have that, not early, it'll be like level 10 that shows up for you. But again, once you have that, that will give you a tiny, tiny buff. Don't discount that. Other stuff that's of interest here is I'll always put in my melee touch attacks that I can channel through my weapon. Those 3 right there. There's a 4th one, we didn't take it. It's the corrosive touch one. But notice something. If we look at our spell book, here's our Magus. Level 1, nothing fancy. Same with Inquisitor. Level 1, nothing fancy. Look what happens when we go to level 2. What the hell's all this shit? This is part of being a Mystic Theurge. It takes your level 1 Magus spells, all these guys here, and transports them into your level 2 Inquisitor spells, and vice versa. Your level 1 Inquisitor spells will be now my level 2 Magus spells. See all this Shield of Faith and Bless and Divine Favor and weird shit? That came from Inquisitor, level 1. Notice it's level 2 Magus. That's what you get for this. And it's a little weird. How do I explain this? So look at this. Shield of Faith is a fine example. Which one do I want to cast? The Inquisitor level 1 version? It's got plenty of spells uses per day. Why not use one of these? Well, because it only lasts for 1 minute per caster level. It lasts for 11 rounds. Also, the level of buff is based on your caster level. Level 18, you get plus 5. We're not at 18, we're at 11. 6 levels down would be 12, that would be plus 4. We're still not at 12, we're at 11. So again, we're not getting a plus 4. If I cast this version, I get a plus 3 buff to my armor for 11 minutes. You see that? Watch what happens when I cast the level 2 version, though, from a Magus. Okay, same spell, just a different caster level, and I have caster level 16. Again, not 18, so not plus 5, but I'm definitely at the plus 4. And it lasts for 16 minutes now, not 11. You see the difference? So taking a note of that, keep an eye out. I'm not saying this is the one you need to use. This one will still do... Where'd it go? This one will still do what you need it to for the longest time. But know that if you really need the extra buff, sometimes going to the other class, in this case Magus, is the way to go. Other than that, notice that we don't have any level 5 spells, even though it says we do. We don't have any castings a day for the Inquisitor. We got plenty for the Magus, well, some. And we have 2 for the Magus for this guy. Acid Fog, I would save the last one, though, for transformation for when you really just need to hit stuff. Now, on that, first let me put my buffs over here. I like to put, again, my typical low-level buffs. Over on that side, just so I have them. Right? Again, that's probably overkill. But again, a shield spell, Shield of Faith is completely different buff. Right now, that would be a plus 3 to my armor. That'd be another plus 4 to my armor. That's plus 7 right there with 2 spells. Bonus to my swing. Bonus to my swing / penalty to my swing because I'm bigger. But my range for hitting stuff is even better because I'm a bigger mark. So my 6-foot range jumps to like 10-foot range because it's so much easier to hit them with a large-ass weapon. I have a bonus to my damage, a bonus to my swing, a bonus to my speed, and again, those are the low-level shit. Notice that if I started getting crazy, I could put in things like Blur, False Life, Mirror Image. I could get myself... like Poison sounds like fun. Resist Energy sounds like fun. I could get some Invisibility up in his house. What else could I get? I could grab Haste. I could get myself Displacement. And Prayer. Magical Vestment. On that, Magical Vestment has 2 categories. Shield, Armor. Last time I checked, Shield was busted. And you don't have a shield anyway, so it's easy for you to remember. But you have to be wearing something in your armor slot. It can be robes. And cast this, and it will give you a buff. And yes, it will stack with the buff of the magic gear you have. Just cast it from the armor side on yourself or a teammate. Pause it. See the armor, plus 11 from Mail of Clear Skies, and then you see the armor enhancement plus 2 magical armor. That's lame, but notice, again, it's plus 1 per 4 caster levels. Remember, this is the weak version, the 11 caster levels of Inquisitor, which means I have a better version of that same spell at a higher level here. See that? This one would be level 16. So I'd get a plus 4 to my armor instead of a plus 2. So again, know that there's differences, again, is my point. What else to put in here? Nope. Like, oh, Animate Dead. You definitely want to have that somewhere out there for funsies. Teleport I usually have out as well. Greater Viz sounds like fun. Stone Skin sounds like fun, but you need Diamond Dust to activate that. Again, Death Ward. We got Divine Power. And note, Divine Power does not stack with Divine Favor. They both are luck bonuses for attack bonus and damage, and Divine Power goes even further. It gives you an extra attack around, gives you extra HP, temp HP, and a bonus to your strength checks and your strength-based skill checks, which are athletics. So again, much better spell than this one. Lasts probably longer too, but until that time, or when you run out of these, you have this to fall back on. And again, I don't need to show you how to buff up for stuff like that. You know how to activate spells on yourself. I will point out, though, that for your weapon, if you've never played a Magus before or aren't familiar, this is the last thing I really need to point out to you. Your weapon buff. Okay, so notice how you have a +5 weapon in both cases here. Let's switch you off to something that's crappy, like a normal rapier, right? No, actually, you know what? I take that back. Let's give you one of these crappy weapons. This is a +5, +3. Here you go, +3 weapon. Okay, you look over here. You see how it's +3? No problem. Now, I can buff a weapon as a Magus with this ability up to a maximum of +5. So the weapon's already +3, so I can add 2 more to it to get it to that +5. You see that? Well, how much can I add to it right now? 3. How do I know that? Here's +1, here's +2, here's +3. We did not get to 4 or 5. That would be the best case scenario. Now, that means if I activate this, just by simply clicking this, I would give it a temporary bonus +3. But if you did that, like you just saw, look at your weapon, you'll see it says +2 temporary enhancement. Again, because it's already a +3 enhancement on the weapon. Total +5. Okay? That means I just wasted a point. You see that? Because again, it could have been a temporary enhancement +3. It lost 1. Well, don't waste 1. How do you not waste it? That's what these things right here are for. See how these take a point? That's what they mean by taking an enhancement point. The +1, +2, +3 takes it down 1. So now this takes 1 away. This would take 1 away, 1. This would take 1. We don't need it because, well, for most of our weapons, because we have the improved critical. This one here doesn't take a point. It just doubles the cost. So it's completely different. Notice how speed takes 3. So if I make it a speed weapon, buff it. Notice that the temporary enhancement should probably go away. Yeah, now it's just an enhancement +3, the normal weapon, plus the speed bonus. So an extra attack around. Okay, that's wasteful, but still, +3 is still good, and an extra attack is a solid extra attack. On these guys, it wouldn't be wasteful. Why? Because it's already at +5. I would be losing all 3 points anyway. Why not make it a speed weapon? You see what I'm saying? Or, alternatively, again, that's just one way to get +3. I could just as easily say, here's +1, +2, +3, and again, that doesn't cost nothing, but double the cost here. Activate. Now for, I think it's like 9 minutes, I'll have a weapon that is a Flaming Frost Shock weapon. See the 1d6 fire, 1d6 cold, 1d6 electric. That's on this weapon now for the next 9 minutes at least. I'm not sure if it's 9 minutes or if it's 9 and 7, so 16. I'm guessing it's the 9. So at minimum though, it's 9-minute buff. And again, that's extra damage, putting it in a solid category of screw you. Still a +5 weapon. Never was going to get any better than that with our buffs. So that's a solid swing still. Definite damage output is impressive. And again, just a straight screw you to the bad guys. And it just looks pimp, right? So again, that's a solid upgrade. Notice that our crit fishing on this tune for the chance to do extra critical damage on a smack is the second best category. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is the best crit range. This is the second best. So we're doing pretty good for ourselves here. So we're likely to crit, not heavily, but we still have a pretty good chance of critting with the Bardiche. That's why I like it. Now, do you need to go undead? Again, if you're going to push that charisma high, and your con's going to be lower than this +8, then this is a solid choice. Notice it even buffs your necromancy. Well, it doesn't show it to you, but the vendor can show that to you. So if I actually go to the vendor, give me my... Make yourself fast. Excuse me, I'm coming out with cold. Go to the vendor. And you do that. He'll actually identify everything for you for free. So now I can actually see what it is. So this is what it is. Bonus to your necromancy spells by a 2 DC check. Some other stuff as well. You're undead, which means that literally the way to heal you is inflict wound spells or something of that nature. So if you wanted to go for your Inquisitor spells, you could have picked up inflict wound spells and been pretty damn happy with that as a choice. We didn't go that route. Excuse me. But you could have. Again, it's up to you to decide what spells to grab. I just did a random assortment of stuff that I know are good spells, good buffs, and go from there. I think this would be a solid tune for you. I want to show you a fight real quick just so you can see the range of your weapon. And I want to do a fight with you in large person so you can see how the range got better. So let's see if we can do that. And then we'll call this video quits. Coming down with a cold. I did this video already once today, so it's probably still just as long as the other one was. It kind of pissed me off. I didn't realize I had shut my microphone off earlier. So I did like a 2-hour video for you, buddy. And then I realized that the video was complete crap. Alright, so here's your guy. Notice if I highlight him, the circle around me, that big red circle, that's the range of your weapon. That's a 6-foot reach. If it wasn't that, it'd be 2 foot. It would be like teeny tiny. You'd barely touch the bastard. So the 2-foot reach sucks. Notice, let's give a tile. Not quite to this tile right here. See that? Again, highlight him. Just shy of it. Okay. And I say that because I'm going to cast now in large person. I'm going to see how we do.
Spell's not working like that.
Oh shit. Well, let's go.
Out of my
I'll have to show you in the next room. That's the shaken effect, though. I killed a guy. That's Dreadful Carnage. Anyone within range that's the bad guy. There's an intimidation check. Okay? So that's why he's got that weird aura on him. Notice. Shaken. Fear -2. So it's just by itself, the shaken condition is useful to you. I got okay armor. Didn't buff up like a dummy. But that's not my point. Well, the reason that the enlarged person didn't work is I forget. With the undead aura or helmet on, you are not a person. Sorry about that. That's my fault. So let's actually switch you over to the pimp ass wizard hat. Okay, that's a +8, +8, +8. Now your con is there. And it's going to need you to upgrade it. Like that. Okay. Take it off, put it back on, you're good to go. And again, not horrible, but not anywhere near the +8 category. We could have much more HP if I was the undead dead man's hat. And that does exist in the game. But again, on you. This will allow me now, though, to do my enlarged person.
Cut them to pieces!
Yeah, your pieces are cut. Move back a little bit here. Okay. So again, range. I think I've already used my movement up to the point where I can't cast a spell. So let's wait till next turn.
No.
He tried to scare me. Asshole. Alright, again. Nowhere's near this guy. How close are we? This tile. A tile and a half in front of him. A little more than a tile and a half in front of him. Just about here. It's as far as it'll go, right? So let's cast enlarged person ourselves and see how we do. Yeah. Wow. See the range? You see what I'm saying? So literally, this would work even on a two-foot weapon, a typical two-handed 2-foot weapon like a great sword or a bastard sword or anything of that nature. The downside is again, 2 feet goes to 6 feet when you enlarge. In my case, 6 feet weapon, ranged weapon like this one, the bardiche or the glaive or the long spear, goes to 10 feet, and that's what you're seeing here. That's a freaking huge amount of buff. Let's see, about 10, 11 feet, something like, oh Jesus Christ, maybe even longer than that. 12 feet. Doubles the, wow, that's gnarly. But again, that's the whole point of enlarged person. A solid buff. And again, now that he's within range, watch what happens when I kill this guy. I should actually swing at this doofus by default, assuming I can kill him, of course.
Let's hear you.
Yep. See that? That was one swing killing 2 guys. And again, if I had multiple dudes in that big-ass circle of mine, I would swing at each dude until I either didn't kill somebody or I missed or I ran out of guys. That's what this build is powerful for, okay? You don't get pick locks, you don't get anything fancy. You can switch some skills around, I'm not telling you what to do, but persuasion and perception, in my opinion, are a must for you. Get them both to 20. You have to get Arcana up to 3, and you have to get Religion up to 3 to unlock your Mystic Theurge. It's easy enough to do. We didn't invest it past that, which was kind of wasteful, I suppose. But it's what it is. The character is a solid tune. You'll have fun with them. He'll wail on bad guys. And again, while you channel melee touch attacks, those 3 that we have, into your weapon, because it's a two-hander, remember, instead of you casting the spell, buffing your weapon, and then swinging, you're only going to swing once. But there is a trick. I want to show you this too. So it's good that we finished on this part. Boom. Bunch of dead dudes, right? Now, watch this trick. Pause it so we don't waste our buffs. I hit the guy. Where? I cast Shocking Grasp. Hit the guy, right? Normal swing. 65 damage. Buff the weapon with fire, with cold, with electric. And it's a negative energy weapon to begin with, a 3d6. So I got all that extra damage on top of the 44 slashing in there. So it does a shit ton of damage on that one guy. Killed him outright. Dazzling Display goes off. That's the intimidation check. Cleaving Finish goes off. So I literally lop the head off the next guy. And again, normal swing on him. Automatic. Because the one guy died. And I did this much damage. 58. 36, 5, 6, 3, and 8. Then, notice this. Cleaving Finish again, swinging at a guy again, normal hit again, normal damage again, intimidation checks across the board, and then watch these weird 28, 25, and 24s. 3 different swings. Now the goddamn one of them is going to be with the weapon. Why? How do I know this? Because we had 3 attacks before. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This will be 3 different attacks with that Shocking Grasp. Now normally, for a normal Magus, like say I used the longsword, I would cast the spell, it'd go into the longsword, I'd swing the longsword on the very first strike, it would hit the son of a bitch and do shocking damage and weapon damage. Done. This, because of the cleaving finish, the improved cleaving finish, where I swing and I swing and I swing and I swing, each swing that I get discharges the same spell. So I'll discharge Shocking Grasp 3 times, 28 electric, slash negative because of the weapon being a negative energy weapon. So 8d6 of damage there. 8d6 of damage on that one, and 8d6 of damage on this one right here. And again, all from one casting of that spell. So while it sucks for most people to say, oh, a two-handed weapon, you're only going to get 1 attack. Yeah, we got actually 3 attacks still, and I still got 3 spikes, which I wouldn't get with a one-hander. So you're doing fine. And the same would work, I believe, with Frigid Touch as well as Vampiric Touch. Last thing to point out on that little doodad would be this. Let's say these were the damage numbers for my Vampiric Touch. 28, 25, and 24. Remember, this not only damages them, but gives you temporary HP, right? Based on the amount of damage. So the first hit would give me 28, so I'd have 28 plus the 209. But then the next one would hit for 25, the 28 would get replaced by the 25. Not added to it, it goes to the next hit, in this case 25. So you see that I went from high to medium to low. I would finish on the lowest number possible, which would suck. But it'd still be plus 24 HP, temporary HP, so I'm just saying it's not great, and I do appreciate the extra damage 3 times. I'm just saying that that's the way Vampiric Touch works. You can't double stack it or anything like that, literally, if it crits, and that's the real sucky part, because say this one critted for double damage, and then I hit with this lame-ass low number afterwards, this would be the one that I would get for the temp HP. On the one that crits, though, man, that's sweet when you crits, and it's the good one, because you can have a really, really nice pool of temp HP for an hour. Like another 40, 50, 60, sometimes extra HP up here. That's not bad. And that's all I really need to show you, buddy. Hope this is what you was looking for. If not, tell me why, what I could change. You know, like maybe you didn't like the double dipping. And again, I can see that. I'm not a fan of it. The real downside in this build to me is your BAB. The 12 is shit. Just for some frame of reference for those that don't know, a BAB by level 20 for a wizard who sucks is plus 10. For a cleric who's medium suck, they're at level 20, they're at a plus 15. For a fighter who's awesome at level 20, they're at a plus 20. So you're between a wizard and a cleric. But because you have so many different buffs, I don't mind. I mean, hell, that's a plus 3 right there, potentially. We have, spell-wise, just to walk you through it, we have bonus to your swing. We have a bonus to your swing up to a +3. We have, what else? Nothing in there. Another bonus to your swing because you get an extra bonus to your attack roll and an extra swing as well. Better armor, better reflex saves. That's awesome. You get the prayer. That's a bonus to your attack and your damage, your saves, and your skill checks, and a penalty to the bad guys as well. We get where's divine power? Here you go. A decent maximum of a +6 bonus to your attack and blah blah blah. We're not going to get all that, I don't think, for this build. You're probably going to cap out right around the +5, I'd say, and that only be if you use it as the Magus level, or the Magus version of the spell. But again, you'll have plenty of ways to buff, that's my point, your attack. And then at the very end, when you run out of spells, or you just really need to say, I'm really good at a weapon, I've buffed to the 9s, it's time to just stop casting spells and attack. Then you use transformation. Just to show you, 24, 19, 14. Can't cast spells anymore. But now you went to a 20, whatever it was, 19, 14, to a 30, 25, 20, and a 15. 4 attacks, full BABA +20, all the bonuses besides. Your damage output's never been better. And again, you're just going to go around crushing stuff. So, you know, transformation is very powerful. The downside, again, is the fact it doesn't last long, and other is that you can't cast spells while in the effect. So make sure you've buffed up with all the stuff you wanted to buff up with. For example, I did not cast haste on myself. Should have. Literally, haste would have been a better choice. And then casting this. I could have cast divine power on myself, and then this would have been a better choice. I could have cast prayer. You get the idea. Buff up as much as possible, then finish it off with transformation, level 6 spell, and you will literally own the goddamn map you're on for at least a good couple minutes. And again, I forgot to do the extended magic on that. I could have done that for the transformation, because it doesn't last very long. Double duration, at least could have been about 3 minutes, and plus, been a solid upgrade for you. But with that, that's all I really wanted to show you, buddy. I'll post probably sometime tomorrow, because I'm kind of tired, how to level it up as far as underneath in the comment section, in a pinned comment section. But feel free to watch this video, tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.